Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Production Diary Patreon Reality Escape Ghostboy 259 exclusive video. I was going to say more there, but I had no words to say. This is the games that shape us. And what an interesting video it was. I say sarcastically. It's not bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever made. And I was actually quite pleased when I went back and watched it. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned in previous diaries that at this point my goal was to upload once a month. I was addicted to this idea of having a schedule of once a month because so many creators that I watched, sometimes it would take 3 to 4 months to upload, and I was like, come on, I need more, give me more. And I was like, okay, I can put in, I would call it filler content in between the heavy hitters. Those are like the two ways I classified content. You were filler, which means I didn't have to do too much thinking. There wasn't too much analyzing. I could just shut off my brain, record what I need to, and make a video. And then when there wasn't filler, there was heavy hitters, which is the videos that I clearly thought would do better. And I say, thought, because they don't always do better, but stuff like obviously the what makes blank games good. The thing is that I haven't released any heavy hitters since like the first two. So using a term heavy hitter doesn't make sense, but it does when you look at what my current schedule looks like and how I plan to upload stuff, because there are some videos where it's like clearly this is going to do better. Like filler content is content that your fans will enjoy. Heavy hitters are videos that I think will get me more fans. And the way I've always looked at it was that if you are creating, it's important to create content to grow. That should always be like your main goal is to try to grow. But it's also important to just every once in a while be like, okay, I'm going to take it easy. Like if it normally takes 4 weeks to make a video, I'm going to make an easy one that the fans that I already have will like, and then it'll take me 2 weeks so that I can take 6 weeks to work on the next one and make that one like really big. And that's kind of like my idea behind it. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in previous diary entries. But yeah, so this one was the third time I'd uploaded. It was my third video in a row that I managed to go a month at a time. Because I'll get into it. So this is the only time I've ever uploaded 3 months in a row. It's never happened since. It may never happen again. I hope I'm saying that sarcastically, but you never know how life turns out, right? But I had never uploaded 3 months in a row since then, and it was something that I really wanted to. Oh, my shorts have a hole in them. Cool, dude. Please subscribe to my Patreon so I can buy new shorts. So this was like my third one, and so the two videos before this, and this is kind of the problem, is I didn't have a lot of subscribers. I didn't have a lot of viewers. The two videos before this was Snowboard Kids, which I considered to be filler content because I didn't think it was going to get me discovered. The thing that I didn't account for is that it's a cult classic, so that people over time who really enjoyed the series would find it, because I think if you type in Snowboard Kids now, it's like the second or third thing that pops up, and it's the only real like retrospective of this. I mean, it might not be anymore. Maybe someone's done it since, but at the time it was the only real like retrospect analysis deep dive into this series. So that's why it has some more views than some of my other videos, but I never considered it a heavy hitter. I considered it like, this is easy content because I don't have to do a whole lot of analyzing. It's really just going stage by stage. Recording the gameplay footage is extremely easy. There's not a lot of complicated editing I have to do, or a lot of theories or writing or anything. And so that's why I considered it filler. It doesn't mean necessarily that there's less effort. It just means that there's or not that there's less care into it, but it's less effort from a perspective of it won't take me as long. Not less effort as in I'm trying not as hard, like I'm going like, I don't care about this, I'm not going to put effort into it. I'm still putting effort into it. It's just that there's not as much needed for me to make it what I want to make it. I hope that makes sense. And then the second one was the April Fool's Fortnite video, which was obviously filler. No one was going to watch me No one was going to discover a reality escape from a 2.5-hour Fortnite video. And then this one, again, was filler content. This is not a video where people are going to discover me from. It was a video made to appease my subscribers. And there's 2 reasons for this. Number one is this came out in May. At this point, I had been working on the Mario documentary for about 4 months at this point, like straight. And so I was taking, a couple days here and there to work on the Fortnite video, to work on Snowboard Kids, and to work on games that shape us, because I was focused on the end goal. And so I was saying, okay, I'll make smaller filler content so that, people don't think I've disappeared or gone inactive. And then the big heavy hitter, which is the Mario documentary, will drop. The ultimate irony being that it's 2022 and late 2022 and the documentary still hasn't dropped. But yes, I'm aware there's other things you don't know about. So yeah, the idea with that was was just to put something out for the fans. And I don't disagree with the idea of it, because I like the video. I think it's well written, and I think I like the story element of it. And I was surprised it had 12k views and over 100 comments. I would have guessed it was down in the 3k views and like 20 comments thing. So I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that it had done pretty well with my fans and stuff, right? It's one of those ones that's like, it's good if someone is binge watching my content, right? Like if someone discovers me and like, I'm going to go all the way from beginning to end. This is good because it's like, oh, there's an hour of a video from this guy that I like talking about things that he likes. So when I'm already discovered, this video is great, like when I'm already been discovered, people can watch this and have a great time with it. And that's, I think, why it's done so well, because I think it's more appealing to than the ones where I'm like talking about like one specific game. But anyway, so this was the one reason that I did 3 filler contents in a row, was because of the documentary. The second was about a week before I uploaded this, I got hired by Simply to be an editor. And so my time was about to cut down, which is why I stopped doing the filler content, because I was going to keep it up. I was going to keep uploading this stuff where it was like very easy. There was no analysis, because really the thing that makes filler content filler is it's more of an essay and less of analysis. This is definitely like an essay. I'm not analyzing anything here. I'm just writing an essay about my thoughts and feelings on these games. Whereas anything else that I consider a heavy hitter, there's some sort of deep analysis and comparisons, and you have to like make points and present like an hypothesis and all this stuff, right? So yeah, this was by all means like an essay of just my feelings and less about being analytical, which it makes it an easy watch and an easy creation, because the writing process is so much faster because it's just me yelling my emotions, right? So after that, though, I got hired by Simply. I had to stop with the filler content because it got to the point where I was like, how am I going to divide my time between working for Simply and editing his videos? Because at the time I was the only guy up there. He had Ocnum, who was his other editor now, as a backup, but we hadn't brought him on really yet because I was just like, I'll do everything. So I was doing Simply, I was doing the documentary, and then I was supposed to make a whole other set of videos between that and the documentary. It was ridiculous, and I was like, there's no way this is gonna work, that if I'm dividing my attention 3 ways in between, here's one 4-part series that's gonna take hundreds and hundreds of hours of effort, here's 20 to 40, 50-minute videos, because again, I can't tell how long videos are going to be when I start them. The Murdered Soul Suspect one, as I commented in that video, I thought it was going to be 20 minutes. It was an hour, because once I got into the story analysis, I had too much fun with it. And yeah, so it was like I can't divide my attention. So at that point, I switched my focus from, okay, I may not be the most active, but I'll at least be making money making videos. And so that was enough for me to say, like, okay, I'll just focus on the Simply stuff. And that was my main priority. It was Simply in the documentary. And the documentary was still being worked on at this point behind the scenes. And it wasn't until a couple months after this video came out that it had to be delayed for other reasons. And at that point, I come back. So this is May I upload this. The next video I upload comes out in September. And I'll talk about that more in the next one. It's my Fall Guys video. And that was more of a... Like I said, I'll talk about it more in that video. But that was more of a challenge of, can I force myself to make something short? And can I make myself do something current? And the answer was yes and no. Because it's 25 minutes long, which is short. But I don't think I'll ever do something that current again, because I just really, I genuinely like doing the older stuff, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's, I get that, you know, you make newer stuff and people hop on the train and it's like, oh, well, everyone's making a video about this topic, so this will be the hot thing, but also, everyone else is doing it, so it's easier to fade away. You know, I'm not gonna make an Elden Ring video until that. I'm not gonna make an Elden Ring video, but if I did, I wouldn't do it within the first month, because everyone's gonna do it within the first month, kind of thing. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, this was a video. Like, this would be a video where if I already had like 100K subs and I already had like a viewership, people would love this stuff, right? It would have taken me the same amount of time, like an easy 2 to 3 weeks. It would have been a personal essay, and this would have been good filler content so that my next video could have a little bit more focus on it. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't work like that, and I pulled the trigger too soon. I think the video can hold up on its own. Like, it's still, like I said, if someone discovers me now and they're binge watching all of my stuff, this is still something that is very much viewable to them. This is something that very much you can watch, and it's not like outdated or anything like that. I'm just saying that I could have uploaded this at a different time and it could have done a little bit better. But, you know, at this point, it's back catalog, and I think that's still important to have. And I mean, if you look at my channel, it is, you know, in the top. You know, well, I guess if you include the podcast, it's not all the way up in the top, but I've got, let's see, it's my 11th most watched video, but if you get rid of the podcast, then it's like 7th or 8th. So, it's still good back catalog content, and I'm not ashamed of it. I like everything about the video. I just think the timing wasn't right on it necessarily. And then, yeah, like I said, from this point on, I gave up on the idea of uploading once a month, and I just said, okay, well, if you are dependent on the currency, like you need to upload once a month, then it makes sense to upload once a month. If you're just getting started, the quality of your videos is going to serve you so much more than the quantity of the videos. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Even though I haven't uploaded in a year, because I want to get the documentary finished before I upload anything else, it's all about the heavy hitters for me. Because I'd rather get discovered. I'm not living on my own yet, where it's like I need to upload a video every month because I need that ad revenue and I need the Patreon pledges and all that stuff. I'd rather spend my time working and grinding in these videos as high quality as I can to get that discoverability. And then once the discoverability is there, once enough people know who I am and I have enough of a following, then I can work on consistency and quantity. But until then, the quality is what's going to get you noticed. That's what's going to get people to watch. And so, yeah, that's kind of how my philosophy changed. And this video kind of helped with that because, you know, like I said, this video could have come out at any time. This wasn't attached to anything. It wasn't attached to an event. It was just me kind of getting sentimental. And had I known how busy I was going to be with Simply, I don't think I would have delayed it because I had already put in all the work at this point. But it definitely felt like a weird one to just put out in the middle of nowhere. Whereas if it was like a 5-year retrospective for the channel or something, maybe that would have been more relevant because it's like more about me than anything. Because that's really what this video is about. This video is about me. It's not about games. It's just me blabbering about my life. But people enjoyed it. The comments are very nice. I love hearing everyone else's story. And there's a lot of people who came and said that the video really resonated with them, and I'm glad that it had that effect on people and that people enjoyed the video. And I hope that people can come back. And a big part of my channel has always just been trying to allow people to grow a greater appreciation for games and like how much thought and time and energy actually goes into them. And plus this video was fun because I get to go play all my favorite games for a little bit to get all the footage, right? So who doesn't love that idea? Where I mean, like the video recording for some videos can be the hardest part. Obviously it sounds like the most fun because you're just playing games, but if you have like a 60-minute or like a 2-hour video and you need to get specific stuff for that, and it's like a 60-hour game, like that can be exhausting. In the event of something like this though, I did it all in one day. I played every game for about 30 minutes until I had the footage or the spots that I needed, and then that was it. That's all I needed. And then the writing was already done. It was just a matter of shoving it together. And I don't point to a lot of specific points. There's no point where I'm talking and I'm like, and then this specific thing happened, and then I show it, which also makes the editing a lot easier because then it's really just focused on the words and the essay, and all I have to do is make sure it looks nice and pretty, which is why I say it's like more filler style and why it's easier to edit. If you have any questions and want me to clarify, feel free to leave them in the comments. But like I said, it's not about the effort, not about not putting in the effort. It's just about the amount of effort that's required to put it in. This is a lot easier because I'm not referencing footage, and so that takes down the editing process a ton because it's just B-roll. It's not the focus of what's going on. You just want to make it look pretty and all that stuff. So that's it for this one, though. It's not too complicated. It's really just, it wasn't the right time for this particular bit of content. And that happens, every video I've uploaded, even when I do these little essays or these little diaries and I say like, oh, it didn't go that well, or I wasn't happy with it, it's a lesson that's learned. And I'm very glad that I learned those lessons before, I moved out and had to learn these lessons while I was trying to pay a mortgage. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I've learned these lessons now because, so today is September 10th, and I'm going to be uploading this on the same day probably, or maybe tomorrow on the 11th. But I'm like 2 to 3 months away from like going hardcore. Like 2023, I'm going to be uploading a video every month for sure. And I'm going to be doing like hardcore grinding out YouTube stuff as much as I can. And all of these lessons about like when to do heavy hitters, when to do filler content, when to do all this, I have factored that information in. If I were to start uploading the original plan before the documentary came out, because the last video I uploaded, and this is just on the topic, this is getting ahead a little bit, but it's mostly on the topic of filler content, because that seems to be like a big conversation topic for this one. The Death's Door video came out in October of 2021, and the plan was to release small videos up until the doc came out, but I was going to be more active because at that point I had quit Simply already, so I was hoping to get revenue from that and discoverability from that. What I did was I decided I wasn't going to upload anymore until the doc came out. Now I could have been uploading 9 or 10 videos since Death's Door came out, and I haven't. And has that hurt me? Yes, of course. Have I not grown an audience because of it? Yes. But what I've been doing behind the scenes is preparing all my heavy hitters to go now. So instead of coming back with my documentary series and then doing 2 filler videos and then doing 1 big one and then 2 filler ones, I have like 10 heavy hitters just ready to go. And I think that is like the momentum that I need to give myself the best shot to do this full time. And, we'll see. If you're watching this right now, it means you've subbed to my Patreon. You've gone all the way back to watch all these diaries. You know better than I do where I'm at this point. At this point right now, I haven't uploaded in 10 months, and I don't know what the future looks like for me. But I think to give myself the best chance, I just focused on heavy hitters because I have stuff done. I have stuff done that could go up like tomorrow. Not really tomorrow, like a week from now. But I'm choosing not to because I know that to come back with the documentary, which is a heavy hitter because there's going to be a lot of eyes on it, is my best chance. And then after that, I'll keep coming back with heavy hitters. And then after I've expended those heavy hitters and they're all out, then I have to see where I'm at. And I have to decide if I'm going to go back to some filler content or if I'm going to go back to some heavy hitters or whatever. And, you know, I have to be more reactionary. And that's fine because I need to be more reactionary instead of planning out everything, especially at this stage in the game. But I think the most important thing that this video taught me, in terms of it being, you know, not maybe the right time that I would have liked to have uploaded it, is that it's not to take being a small channel too seriously. I think if you want to grow, you need to take it seriously. If you want to grow as a channel, you need to take your craft and seriously, and your ideas seriously, and your uploads seriously. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. What I'm saying is that if you are a tiny channel with 20k subs and you disappear for 4 or 5 months before uploading your next video, that's not a lot of people to wonder where you are, right? And the people who see you will appreciate it, and most people will understand, hey, I know this isn't your full-time job. It's going to take you a bit. If you have, you know, 900,000 subs and you upload, I don't know, like Twitch highlights or something that's like very easy to make, and you go a month or two without uploading, then that's when you should be worried about, like, maybe I'm not getting enough content out. I could be getting more out without that much more effort, kind of thing, right? So for me, this video is like, yes, I need to get stuff out once a month, but I'm small enough. I'm disappointing people, yes, but I'm not disappointing that many people. And so it's better to just make sure the quantity is good, or sorry, make sure the quality is good, get as many eyes on it as you can, and then in time you will know when you need to transition from regular content, from always high quality 3-4 months for one video content to like maybe smaller stuff to pass the time. And some creators don't. Some creators never do filler, and I would totally respect that too. You know, guys like Joseph Anderson, my friend Racevic, you know, H Bomber guy, those guys are very much legacied into this idea that you can only upload once in a while, like once or twice a year, and be fine. That is not going to be the normal for most people. Like, most people will never be able to do that, and they're very lucky, and I'm sure they know how lucky they are to do that. Nowadays, I think we're in an algorithm where you need to be uploading as much as you can. You need people to remember you as much as you can. So anyway, yeah, that is you know, how I feel about content in general. Basically what it comes down to is, I think content to get discovered is good, but don't be afraid to throw out content that only your fans will like, because just as important as getting new fans is keeping the old fans happy and giving them a gift every once in a while. Which is why I've had people work for me who have a lot of subscribers, and, you know, normally they'll upload a 20-minute video and that's it. And they'll be like, okay, this is a 20-minute video, this is a 20-minute video. And they'll be like, well, this video is really good, but it's an hour long, so I'm going to cut it into 3 parts. And I'll be like, no, man, just be nice. Your fans, the people that love you, the people who watch your content, they want more of you. Just be nice. Give them an hour-long video. They'll love you for it, and it'll make them happy. It may not be the best for discoverability, but sometimes you just got to do stuff for the fans you already have. And that was this, you know? I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm very curious right now. Before I end this, I will go to my my analytics, because it'll tell me how many people click the subscribe button while watching this video, and I will guarantee you it's going to be less than like 20. I would be shocked if it's anything more than that. Analytics, 142. That's actually incredible. And you know what? In the first 37 days, I was at 0. I lost some and then gained some. So just to put it in perspective, I haven't gained a subscriber from this video in like 3 months. And it seems to be smaller bumps here. It seems to be, yeah, this is like, so when the numbers are going up, it's the summer rush. So it is people who are binge watching my content, and then at this point they're saying, oh yeah, I can stick around. 142 though, I mean, in the grand scheme of 33k or 32, I don't even know how many subscribers we're gonna have, 35k, you know, 142 is not an ideal number of subscribers to gain from a video when you're at that number. But the watch time is good. It's above average. My views are technically above average if you don't include the 2 million view ones. And the people, and I got a lot of comments, and all the comments are very nice and sweet and positive, and people love it, and that's important to me. That people really enjoy the content every now and then come back for the heavy hitters later. So that's my philosophy on that. I've always wanted to kind of talk about that in some regard, so I guess this was a good one to do that. And then in the next video, we'll get a little bit deeper into talking about hopping on trends and hopping on popular games, and if it's worth doing that depending on your type of channel. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being a Patreon, or patron rather. I hate it when people call them Patreons. They're patrons. But yeah, thank you for being a patron. Thank you for pledging. Your support means a lot to me. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will see you soon. Stay safe.